my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leora and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which I'm so excited to film because finally I got to try BPerfect cosmetics. Sweeties, I have been watching this brand ever since I got into makeup. Ever since, you know, and then I've always waited, are the palettes going on sale and whatever, and always something came in between. But now the Carnival 3, I got it. And if you're following me on my social media, you have already seen looks and also of course this palette as a flat lay and things like this. So this is what we're talking about today. This is the collaboration with Stacey MUA, and this is the Carnival III Love Tahiti palette. So I just want to point out something. Look at this packaging. All right, and now look at me. May I just point out that we belong together, right? All right, so I had this before even this dropped, you know, just saying. So this is so cool. Anyway, so this is how the palette looks from the outside. And this is how she looks from the inside. So the good thing about this palette is there are no face products in it. This time with this collection, there were the face products or the highlighters or whatever was on the side. You could order that in addition. I didn't do that, but I just, you know why? Because it said in the description of those highlighters, because I wanted to try them, but it said that they are like a creamy kind of a formula. And you know that I have a bit of a suspicion about creamy products because of my melasma and taking off my foundation. So that's why I stepped away from this, but this definitely was the most important thing for me anyway. I ordered this on release. I fought my way through crashing websites and having serious FOMO, and then it finally went through and I got this. And the second I had this, like the next morning, I started working with this palette. And before I even go into like more, I'm going to just show you the looks, including this one that I did today, that I've done with the palette, so we know what we're talking about. Alright, sweeties, I hope you did enjoy the looks. I know personally that the second those first mattes touched my eyes, I was gone. I was absolutely gone. I could not believe how I was in heaven. Seriously, you know, like this was a Love Tahiti, Love Leora kind of a thing, you know. I just could not believe how beautiful those mattes were and still are. And you know what, as of right now, I have basically, I have not used everything, but I have used most things. There are just a few shades here and there. This one I haven't used yet. This one, I think also this one I haven't used yet. The other browns I have used. I don't know, maybe this one I haven't used yet, but other than that, maybe this one also. So, but other than that, I feel like I have used a lot in those looks, because for every single look that I'm doing, I'm trying to use a lot of shades, obviously. So I have already gotten so many compliments in my real life, you know, when people saw me. That is unusual because, you know, usually people look at me like, girl, what's wrong with you, right? But these shades were so special, so vibrant, and so boom, that like even people who look at me like, what's wrong with you, were like, huh, you know, and that is already a compliment for me, seriously. So anyway, let's just read what it says here. So this palette contains 31 vibrant mattes, 4 duo shift pressed pigments, 3 metallics, and 2 high pigmented shimmers. Sorry, stumbling over the English. So here we have them all. I have to say, one feels the difference in those formulas of the shimmer shades, definitely. The ones that these duochrome shifting shades are a little bit thinner, but they are buildable and they work best when you apply them with your fingers. Definitely, I would say. I've not tried anything on a glitter glue, or, like, because I don't use glitter glue if I don't like absolutely have to. I know that other people use it as an eyeshadow base, at least for the shimmer and for shimmer shades, and I don't really do that. So I didn't do that, but those duochrome shades, this one and this one, they feel a little bit thin when you just apply them like with one swipe. You definitely have to build them up. Doesn't mean that they're bad, just saying that they need like a special treatment. Okay, then the other shimmer shades are actually, they pick up super well on the brush. Also those shine more when you put them on with your finger, definitely. Just wanted to point that out too. But I really feel like the impact and the beauty of them is really worth a little bit of an extra effort. It's not really an effort, it's just another layer, you know, like let's not, you know, make more out of it than it is. I think the color story is out of this world, out of this world. The colors that she chose here are so beautiful, so beautiful. This is so Leora. Also, just, you know, just looking here at the green section, and I also want to include this one because I know it's not a green, but it sort of vibes so well also with the greens, and just that is worth the price, just that, you know. But still, everything worked so well, and I was so blessed that I got to work with this palette. Now, if you're new here and you don't know why is Leora not putting on makeup on camera, just wanted to quickly throw that in because there are a few new people here that I had to step back from doing that, from doing makeup on camera just a couple of weeks ago, and I just had to say, you know, right now I'm feeling really stressed, and mental health wise I'm not doing so well, and I just need that time, this makeup applying time, this creative space for myself. So that's why I just included the pictures, and I hope you're still enjoying this, because you know what, I still worked with the palette, I still have my feelings to share and my experiences to share, even if I don't do it live on camera. I know that people have been complaining a little bit and ask me like, did you film this look? No, I didn't. Right now I'm not filming any looks. Right now it's perfect for me to just be pretty on camera, okay? So and not getting pretty on camera, okay? So anyway, this is what we're doing here, and the only thing where I thought what could also have worked super well would have been a light blue shimmer. Like not a super light blue, but like a lighter blue shimmer, because we only have these blues and these both are mattes, and I was kind of feeling a light blue shimmer in this one here too. But besides that, there is not a single thing I would change about this palette. It is beautiful. It gives you everything, you know, like you gotta be into colors. It doesn't make sense to buy a palette like this if you are usually doing neutral looks. Yes, you can do neutral looks. You have, of course, here this champagne-y kind of a shimmer, and then you also have like a cool tone brown, and you have of course your warm tone browns. You also have your rosy tones. You can absolutely do neutral looks. You also have of course rosy shimmers here, and this one you can also use. I used that also today for my inner corner and down here. So you can do your neutral looks, but you have a lot in this palette that is really custom made for a color lover, and that is me. So this fell into my heart like you would not believe, and I just definitely had to go and work with this a couple of days and just really try it out and really enjoy it and really sort of bathe in this palette, because it is that beautiful, especially the mattes. The shimmers are also fine, don't get me wrong, okay, but the mattes are outstanding. And I'm so glad that I can say this about a new brand that I have not worked with yet, you know, that I've been ogling and lusting after for so long, and now I finally can sit here and say, wow, this was awesome and I loved it, you know. Yeah, so anyway, let me tell you what I did in today's look. So what did I do? I used this shade here to sort of set my eyeshadow base a little bit, and then I went in, I have to think what did I do? I think I went in with this one, and that I didn't feel like the impact was good enough for me. So I backed it up a little bit to blend it into this one with this one. So that's what I did. And then I actually put on this one here at the outer and the inner corner of my lid, and this one in the middle. And then I put a little bit like a hint of this one on top. I'm also going to zoom in just a second, okay? In my inner corner and also a little bit dragged down under my lower lash line, I have this shade here. And then I blended it into this brown because I sort of wanted to, you know, it's sort of cohesive still, and it sort of belongs together, because I also like to do, and you probably also saw it of course in the looks that I showed you already, I like to do looks where the upper part of my eye and the under part or the lower part of my eye are completely separate, and like, you know, there is like a harsh difference between the two of them. I love to do that, but once in a while, you know, I can also go with something like this that is a little bit more smooth sailing. And anyway, I love the vibrancy of those mattes, how they build on each other, how they blended into each other. I mean, when you're working with colors like this, of course, the blending is not like super easy blending. It takes some work, okay? But compared to other brands also who also give you super colorful shades, it was a very easy work environment. Let's put it that way. I really enjoyed it. I also have to say, after trying those purple shades and red shades, there was just very insignificant staining. I wouldn't even call it staining. It was super insignificant, okay? So let me just quickly, before I forget, zoom you in so you can see what I did today. And I also of course put on a black eyeliner, a gel eyeliner, and I used a gold eyeliner pencil on my waterline, okay? So that is what it is. All right, so yeah, this was so cool. This was so cool, and I'm so glad that this is my first impression of the brand. Now, I have heard amazing things about all the other palettes that Stacey Marie came out with in collaboration with BPerfect Cosmetics. I have been so close to every single time something dropped from BPerfect Cosmetics. I was so close to buy it, and like I said, there was always something that came in between, and that was just the most annoying thing, because, you know, I wanted to try this brand. This was like next to also Sample Beauty. Sample Beauty was also always very interesting to me, and that I started to try already. I have already 3 palettes of Sample Beauty, and then this one of course was very high on my list. And this time when the sneak peek started to come about this collection, I was like, yes girl, sign me up, you know? So that is it. I love this. I love this. There is not a single dud in the palette. Again, I want to say, of course, here, let me just show you. There's also a huge mirror. It's cardboard packaging, of course. Forgot to tell you this. We also have amazing shade names that are just super beautiful. Very, yeah, theme oriented. Okay, theme oriented to Love Tahiti. And yeah, so the only thing really that the shimmers, especially those duochrome shimmers, need a little bit of build up. But besides that, I personally do not believe that that is an issue at all, you know? So I think this is an exceptionally well done palette. Now, if you're working for the first time with shadows like this, you might want to pull in a lighter shade or whatever is close to your skin color in order to make blending out a little bit more easy. I also did that. I always have my bone color mat here in front of me, so I can help myself a little bit in that, because for me, a perfect blend, or at least, you know, a very good blend, is very important to me, but that is not for everybody. So for me, I want to do it on a professional level, so that's what I'm doing, but you don't have to. Yeah, so I absolutely loved everything I did with this palette. Yeah, so let me just maybe start to live swatch a few of the shades, and I'm not going to swatch the whole palette here, but I'm going to definitely also then, after those first shades that we're swatching live here, I'm going to of course include a swatch video with all the swatches so you see everything. I don't know yet where on my body I'm supposed to put all these shadows. I don't think I've ever swatched a big palette like this. But anyway, you shall see in just a second where what I'm holding into the camera. Okay, so let's go in. We're going row by row, and I get to start with this beautiful dark green. It's so beautiful. Oh, awesome. Okay, so let me just swatch this right here. All right, so this is how it looks. Again, I cannot for the life of me do any swatch straight in my life. It just doesn't work. So I'm not going to do this too big because I need a lot of space now. So this is how the first shade swatches. It is a beautiful dark forest green where you can do so much, you know, you can do so much with this shade, especially when you love green as much as I do. Okay, the next one is khaki brown. The other day I said in a video khaki, because in German, and I'm a born German, so in German we would say khaki, but my husband, who is American, told me that khaki is something else in English, so I have to apologize, but didn't mean any offense. This is how it looks. It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. And especially like also these two together, it's just so, so beautiful, you know? Okay, then we're getting into this, I can see fall vibes right here, seriously. Okay, we're getting into this clay, they call it, or she called it clay, which is this shade, oh, so beautiful. This is like intense ochre, or like an egg yolk kind of a shade, you know? It's beautiful. This is how it looks. Now, are you getting fall vibes? Are you yet? All right, maybe, okay, let's maybe do the whole first row and then the rest I'm gonna do on my own. So this is the shade Sand, which is like a super light peachy shade. Let's see how much that even shows up on me. This is one of the shades that I hadn't used in any of my looks yet. This is not showing up too much, but I didn't expect that really because it is just a very, very light shade, very similar to my skin tone. Okay, now we're going into a very bright orange, which is called Mango. Beautiful. Ah. All right, this should show up a little bit more. Now, of course, I'm swatching this on an unprepped arm. It's just a bare arm, okay? In case you were wondering. And maybe you know by now that I'm the best at swatching. So anyway, so that is, don't know how to bend. This is that shade Mango. And then we're getting to the first shimmer shade, which is the shade Pearl. This is a cold leaning pinkish, like it has a very, very cold undertone. It's like a pink, like a baby pink. All right. I don't know, it's probably going to come across as pretty white because it has this very, very cold silvery undertone. Okay, next shade is the shade Lilac, and that is a more muted baby pink, I would say. It's a matte, definitely a matte. Let me just build that up again a little bit. It's really on my pale skin, it's a bit hard sometimes to make stuff that is very light show up. Okay, so this is how it looks. And then the last one is one of those duochrome shades, and they feel amazing to the touch. So that's why I also didn't feel at all that it is like hard for me to use my fingers to apply my makeup, because usually, you know, it's not my biggest pleasure to do that, but I do it because it makes the look just more beautiful. But I think also here from the swatch you can see that it is not the most opaque shade. But I'm not even sure that it's supposed to be, you know? Because, I mean, one can use those shades very well on top of mattes, like as topper shades, and just make them shift then in different color directions. So this is how it looks. It definitely shifts blue. I don't know if you can see it right now, but maybe you will be able to see it then in the video when I'm including the swatches. Anyway, so this was the whole first row. I'm going to keep swatching now, and then I'm going to include, of course, the swatch video, and then we're going to meet right back here and talk a little bit more about the palette. Okay, sweeties, here we are back after all the swatches, and this is how it looks now. This is the first time in my life that I have swatched something with my left hand on my right arm. It was extremely hard because my coordination like this totally off. So anyway, this is how it looks. I think you can see though pretty well the color schemes, and by the time you see this, the swatches will also be live on my Instagram, and also probably a couple of the looks with more pictures. Okay, so in case you're interested, also the styling that I did today, you will find it on my Instagram or on Facebook, depending on where you're following me or where you want to follow me. Okay, so this is what it is. I have to say there were a couple of swatches that were absolutely surprising. For example, this one swatched so well. There was also this blue one which swatched super well, because I'm just so stunned when mattes swatch well, because on me, on my arm, I don't know what it is. It is really hard for me to swatch mattes. But anyway, then here also, this is that champagne-y kind of a shade. It doesn't show up probably very much because it is seriously like, it's just my skin color but shiny, you know. So that is it. So what do I think? There is not a single dud in the palette, if you ask me. Do I have favorites? Absolutely. The favorites are definitely here, because that is just what is always my favorite. You know, it's just I'm leaning towards those colors. It has nothing to do with the other ones not being as good. Then I was also super surprised of this whole column here, because as you probably know by now, I'm not super vibing with like oranges, orange colors and stuff, but like at least right now, right? But I was so surprised because I actually really loved it, and maybe this is the beginning of going back to oranges, maybe, you know. I'm not against it anymore. Like, I feel like I can go there again. So this palette really opened my heart to a lot. Plus there's also, you know, so many of my favorite colors are in this palette besides the greens. Also, my next favorite colors are fuchsia, shades of fuchsia. And there you have, of course, this one, which is super beautiful. This one is more pink, but anyway, this one is the perfect fuchsia, my perfect fuchsia. Magenta. Okay, so for me it's fuchsia. Anyway, so I love this palette. There is nothing wrong with it. I highly recommend this palette to you. Yeah, so just saying, the packaging, the whole design, everything is beautiful. Stacey Marie is very beautiful. I'm so jealous. Creasing, I didn't notice anything. Staining, I already told you, it was very insignificant. I wouldn't even really call it staining. Fading, absolutely not. Like, really. And I'm really wearing my eyeshadows a long time during the day. I apply my eyeshadows at 4 in the morning, and I'm usually not taking them off before like 9 o'clock in the evening. So I do get a nice, like, I can judge if it's wearable, like in the sense of that it doesn't fade, and it didn't, you know. So that was good. I used all of these shadows I used on the Sigma eyeshadow primer. In case you're interested, you'll find, of course, everything, all the information, also the other products that I used today, in the description box down below. Okay, so I hope this was helpful for you. I know that people are missing me doing makeup on camera. I just have to say, you know what, also for me personally, I'm not liking so much to watch those kinds of videos these days, because I just don't have the time and patience to look at someone putting on makeup, you know. And then for tutorial purposes, there are so many tutorials on everything already online, so I just feel like, who needs me to do the millionth tutorial on a cut crease or something, you know? It's all there. So I just want to feel the freedom to just really do what I feel, you know. And right now that is not putting on makeup in front of the camera, but wearing makeup gracefully while I'm on camera. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. All right, so I hope I addressed all the questions. If there's any other questions that you would have concerning this, please leave them in the comment section down below. Of course, also any other comment is very welcome. Besides that, of course, I would love it if you were to subscribe to my channel, because we're a super positive place here, very loving to each other, very supportive of each other, and I would love to have you here. Just know that I'm doing mixed content, and browse around before you subscribe and just see if you like it here. Besides that, I hope you'll have an awesome day or an awesome evening, depending on when you're seeing this, and I hope you're coming back for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.